The U.S. is now facing a student debt crisis like never before.
During the pandemic, the first Trump administration put student loan payments on pause, a policy Biden extended. But now the federal government is putting an estimated 5 million Americans into collection.
Are you worried about drowning? Yes. I mean, we're kind of drowning as it is.
New data is showing a record number of borrowers are several months behind on payments.
Many wise men have said that knowledge is power, but they didn't necessarily say it was financial power. There's a lot of broke educated people out there, and with every graduating class, there seems to be a new batch, as entry-level jobs are seeming to fade away. If only someone had made a video about this.
Millions of Americans are facing a major expense they had previously thought was in the rearview mirror. Today, the federal government is resuming collections on defaulted student loans, some of the $1.6 trillion in student debt outstanding.
According to educationdata.org, over 42 million borrowers owe about $1.6 trillion in federal student loan debt. And as of the last update, 29% of these federal student loan borrowers are delinquent on their loan. So that means they're over 90 days late on their payments. That's over 5.4 million people who are unable to make their payments. Before the pandemic, these delinquency loans were around 10 to 15%, so they've pretty much doubled since then. In this video, we're going to discuss why this is happening and what the implications are. Due to inflation and higher interest rates, it seems like the other expenses in a borrower's life have increased, so they're less likely to prioritize their student loan payments. According to collegeinvestor.com, over 49% of these borrowers stated that affordability issues were the reason they couldn't make their loan payments.
Jana Hartwood, a nurse in Iowa, owes more than $40,000 in student loans. 2 years ago, her son was born with a medical condition. To treat it, she exhausted her savings and had to borrow from her 401k.
How much can you afford to pay back right now? None. It's not easy. Every week is hard. Every paycheck is immediately gone. It's gone before we even, have it.
Her problems shared by millions across the country.
Another 1/3 of these borrowers stated that other priorities such as their rent and utility costs are the reason they couldn't make these payments.
I don't know what they expect people to do. I just want to tell my elected officials, here's my household budget. You tell me what to do here. I just don't see how we're going to be able to scrape it together. I just don't.
So it seems like most people just can't afford the loan payment on its own. It's just not affordable for them, or they have other bills that are of higher priority at the time. Interestingly, another 25% of these borrowers stated that they're waiting on potential student loan forgiveness or for loan repayment programs to assist them in repaying this debt. So naturally, seeing all these people struggling and confused, the federal government is going to step in and help people make these payments and just create a situation where there's some compromise and everyone wins. Seeing all these people struggling and confused, the government is going to wait until they hit their 270 days in delinquency. Then they're going to put them in default, which means they can garnish their wages, taking the money directly from their paycheck, or they can take their entire tax refund.
And the government doesn't have to go through the hoops that other creditors have to go through. They don't have to get a court order to take those benefits. They can just do it with a simple notice to the borrower, which again, many borrowers are never going to receive.
So during COVID, these delinquencies and defaults weren't being applied since people weren't expected to make their payments, as it was a troubling time for everyone. But right after COVID, in October of 2024, they started counting again. So if you go 270 days from October 2024, that takes you to July 2025, where people were now going into default.
According to Bankrate, many borrowers fell into a bad habit of forgetting about their student loans during a pandemic-era relief program. But now the federal government is collecting those payments once again, and borrowers who still haven't adjusted could be in for a reality check very soon.
It's really on or about July 1st that we're going to see more people rolling into defaults.
Now we're headed straight towards a student loan crisis, as 5 million people are going to start defaulting on these loans. So let's discuss the implications of a delinquency and a default on a person's finances. If a person becomes 90 days delinquent on their student loan payment, that will show up on their credit score, and they could take a hit as much as 50 to 100 points. Now, if they default on the loan, that will stay on their credit report for 7 years, and it could hit their score with as much as a 100 to 150 point decline. The financial consequences of having your credit score decline by over 100 points are numerous. Interest rates are already very high, so if you're looking to get a mortgage, your interest rate would be even higher, making the house even less affordable. And that's if you even get access to a mortgage. Having a default on your credit report shows that you failed to make a payment and completely defaulted on a loan, which looks terrible for your credit history. So it should be no surprise to anyone that we already have an issue of younger adults missing out on certain milestones in life, and hitting those milestones later in life, like owning a home or starting a family. And this situation is just going to make it significantly worse.
I am so excited to buy this house that I can definitely afford. So this is the house, huh? I don't think we can afford it, but I guess we can try.
So for a nation that's really concerned about a low birth rate, you would think we'd be prioritizing making housing more affordable and trying to defuse situations like this so they don't blow up into a huge debt crisis that ruins young people's finances for the next 10, 20 years of their life. Even the whole concept of a student loan is very strange. You basically agree to a long-term debt at the age of 18 that can impact your finances for the rest of your life. These loan payments also hinder a young person's ability to save for retirement, and considering Social Security might not even be around when this generation is retiring, they need to save for their retirement and put it into a Roth IRA or traditional IRA as soon as possible. So having to pay these huge monthly payments is not ideal. Normally during this part of the video, I'd propose a solution or strategy that should be adopted, but I really don't see one here other than just avoiding debt personally and trying to keep yourself from falling into this spiral. But as a nation and the system as a whole, it would take several significant steps to keep this from happening. I would recommend the community college path, spending the first 2 years in a community college, then transferring to a university for the next 2 years. So you get the same bachelor's degree, but with significantly lower costs. And it's just a better strategy overall. Or potentially consider trade school and going into, carpentry or plumbing or being an electrician, any type of trade where you work with your hands. That's also a good investment considering AI could be threatening every other job that requires, brain power and working at a cubicle. So, working on something hands-on might be a good idea right now. So to sum things up, the pauses that were applied during COVID that helped people with these loans, handle their payments better as things got more expensive are going away. And they've already gone away for the most part. But now we're starting to see the ramifications of that as more and more people go into default over the next few months. And that pretty much wraps it up. And this video joins the series of happy videos that I've been uploading lately. And hopefully it doesn't add any more anxiety to your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.